What's Al hiding? There's something heavy around him that he's not telling me.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm also not gonna say anything if he hasn't.
It was very important to us that in a story primarily dominated by males, that the female characters had their own agency and were not just props in the man's storylines.
Touché, mon ami.
It was very important to highlight how ahead of their time these women were.
I'm an ally. I'm just not yours.
They succeeded in spite of the challenges that were in front of them.
I get why Al likes you.
Betty, I think ultimately, in my perception of it, she really handles herself in a way that I think is quite inspirational for past, present, and future females, because she does it with grace, and also I think she's incredibly loyal. You see that with the relationship between her and Ruddy.
I understand if you need to cut and run.
I'm not running either.
Betty was like a relative of mine. And the minute I met her, I knew this was the right person for me.
So what's the move now, then?
This is Andrea Eastwood, head of casting.
She's like one of the only women that had such a high power position. She's a big deal at Paramount. I agree. It was such a boys' club back then. How do you know that? I thought it was really well written to show how she kind of exerts herself in that world and how she does it in such a feminine way. She's really fun, and she shows it in her outfits and her makeup and her hair.
I don't know how you stay comfortable in that skirt all day.
It's a skirt. What's not comfortable about it? I could talk about the scene forever. I have so many good things to say about that scene. I loved it first and foremost for the relationship between Betty and Andrea, how they're kind of sussing each other out.
So, how'd you start working with Ruddy? I've never seen an assistant this involved in the process.
We're both kind of like, did you?
I didn't fuck him, if that's what you're asking.
They were two women that are navigating the world in a very, very different way, but are still fierce in their own right, not just because they were women doing these jobs, but because they were incredible people doing these jobs.
How did you become head of casting?
I like to think it's because I have a real eye for talent, but it might have been the skirt. I don't know.
That scene, I think it was supposed to be in a casting office, and Dexter Fletcher was like, "Oh no, we're gonna blow the scene out. It's gonna be driving through the Paramount lot. There's gonna be welders. There's gonna be gladiators."
We got to zip around the Paramount lot on a Sunday when it was empty. So you fully were transported into their universe. It was a pinch me moment. It makes all my hair stand up, you know?
We had another scene where Coppola and Puzo were working on the script.
They were artists at the end of the day. They existed based on their imagination, telling stories, creating a world.
I just met Patrick in rehearsal, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a place to live." And I was like, "All right, I'll take a risk here out of, the love of the game. Let's get method here, man."
You never know. Fingers crossed, right?
Hey, he was my roommate for the first 2 or 3 weeks of shooting.
It's not something I will soon forget.
That connection, when you meet someone who you connect with creatively and artistically, it's a rare thing, and it's a really special thing. Did you eat my ham? So I think that gave such a wonderful rhythm to their relationship very quickly.
I'm loving you, Mario. And I think it shows. I think that on the screen you see that we genuinely really get along. That was a big risk. He could have been a real jerk, but he was great. He was great.
How lucky are we to have been able to develop a relationship that is going to effortlessly bring itself to set? It's a beautiful gift. Hey, I want in on this.